The beaches of Santa Monica and Venice, not too far from our setting today, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Kevin, the Clippers for...
There's been a transformation here in LA. There is no doubt about that. DA, thank you. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Clippers. On Sunday, they'll go up against Kristaps Porzingis and the Dallas Mavericks. Then on Tuesday, they'll take on Karl-Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now the starting group for the Denver Nuggets. Millsap and Jokic, the big men. The backcourt is Murray and Harris. And it's Barton in at the 3. And for the Clippers, we've got Kawhi Leonard. Batum's out there with Ibaka. Then it's Patrick Beverley. And it's George in at the 2 spot. Deep benches tonight, Greg, on both sides. This seems to be a growing trend.
You know, teams are digging deeper than ever before, even getting into the two-way contracts that give you depth past your top 15 guys. One, you're trying to protect the investment in your big-ticket items, your franchise-caliber players, but you got to keep an eye on the future in terms of player development. That's another area where the league has really changed when you look at the makeup of these rosters.
Well said. Here's Murray. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Launches it. Murray, no good. Leonard attacking. Banked in off the glass.
With his developing handle, Leonard now has defenders at his mercy when on the bounce.
Barton outside. The pass to Harris. Pass to Jokic. The 3. The Clippers grab the miss. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
Remarkable consistency from deep. You can't count on that every game, especially on the road.
Yeah, the interesting part was they kept firing away in that game, but the defense didn't make much of an adjustment.
And here is Harris. Pass to Murray. The Nuggets with another miss.
Well, that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
Barton against Leonard, and stolen by Barton. And here comes Harris, leading the fast break, and it's Murray with the jam.
Pretty good instincts right there from Harris. He sees the defense moving, and then he just spotted the open guy.
And if you're throwing up your starting 5 for team irrational confidence, Jamal Murray makes a strong case. This guy is fearless.
Now here's Barton. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Clippers.
Yeah, although undersized, Millsap is a very, very hard worker. Uses his quickness that time.
Batum passes to Beverley. The deep 3 from George. And again, it's the Clippers missing. And Murray, we know, can be streaky, Greg. Still mid-30% for his career from three-point range.
Of course, the degree of difficulty pretty high on a lot of his shots. Off the bounce with the hand in his face. And he's more than a shooter, a versatile scorer who can get it done in a variety of ways.
You think about the 40th pick back in 2012. Will Barton languished on the bench in Portland for his first 2 seasons, actually 2.5. And then that trade to Denver, boy, that jump-started everything.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. And with the Nuggets, Barton becoming an immediate contributor. And Brent in recent seasons, their starter at the small forward.
Yeah, he's an interesting player. He's a slender and slightly built player, but excellent at getting out there and rebounding, a tremendous runner at the wing position to play in transition. And that wingspan certainly helps out on a lot of plays, both offensively and defensively.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. Oh, and with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
So good, so experienced, Paul George can convert the toughest of buckets.
Fires the 3. Dozier can't get it to go. Clippers trail by 3. And it's George finishing it off.
2 teammates connecting right there. Slick feed.
Here's Morris. Last time out he had 13 points. charity stripe shot. The shot will not fall. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way. They beat the Nuggets during their last encounter in Denver.
And really brought an impressive physicality to that matchup, drawing a ton of fouls and, of course, went on to win it.
No doubt, that's what made the difference. The aggression they showed, attacking, drawing contact. It got them points at the line and made foul trouble a big concern on the other side.
And here's Jokic. Kawhi Leonard getting his 3 to go. Jokic kicks to Morris. 6 on the shot clock. And just miss after miss right now. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
Shots good by Ibaka.
Now, a lot of times we talk about good passing, but accurate passing is a huge quality of a good pass, and Leonard did it there.
Morris outside. From downtown, here's Jokic. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for Los Angeles. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We'll get right back to the action when we return. We recently checked in with Jamal Murray, who
mentality of how we play, how we move the ball.
Greg, sounds like something a coach would say.
It's probably something his coach has said time and time again, but Murray's really matured into a reliable, sometimes spectacular performer for this team.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, the coaches preach ball movement, and we saw exactly why in that first quarter.
Well, everybody just feeling the energy of the basketball as they moved it around, and lots of hands were touching it.
On the floor for Denver as we get going here in the second quarter. Jokic is out there with Porter. Then there's Monte Morris. And it's Dozier in at the small forward position. And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard.
And now let's take a look at Kawhi Leonard. He's coming off an excellent season. 6th in steals, 8th in scoring, and ranked in the top 15 in free throw percentage. Tremendous confidence and technique at the line.
And like a thief in the night, he will pick your pocket clean. Top 10 in steals, as you said last year. Always a threat to cause a turnover. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, good evening. The Clippers were picked by many to win the title last year. Now, they didn't get it done, but Kawhi Leonard is not concerned. He said, we've just got to keep getting better. Keep fighting. It's about the right team peaking at the right time. Guys are hoping this season their talent and their fight will win out. Back to you.
We will see. Good stuff, D.A. Thanks. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. 3-point lead.
Well, Paul George does have unlimited range, kind of getting into that mode where one of those guys you have to guard when he gets over half court.
And the versatility of Paul George's game, elite defense and rebounding, steals and deflections.
When you think about Paul George moving to several teams, yet still having the impact on both ends of the floor, I think that is a telltale sign that you have an elite talent in Paul George.
On the wing, Porter trying to find Murray, and he gets it to him. The baseline jumper goes down. Now just a 2-point Clipper lead.
Well, you give up any kind of space like that to Jamal Murray, even from the mid-range, he'll torch you.
And stolen by Harris. Fast break, here they come. Murray, good. Murray's got the game tied up here for the Nuggets.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
And the Clippers call time here. And after establishing himself as a key player in Denver, Gary Harris has played, trailing off the last couple seasons. Greg, what's your read there?
I really feel like, Kevin, injuries have played a part, an extended cold streak, but the Nuggets didn't lose faith. He helped build their success over the years, and they consider him a key piece moving forward as well.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Williams is checked in. There's the 3. Millsap grabs the miss. The Nuggets have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Williams passes to Leonard. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Leonard's got 13.
I mean, Kawhi Leonard, an MVP candidate. Why? Well, they're the reasons right there. One of the best two-way players we've seen in the past 5 years.
And Denver decides to take their first time out here. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
in the NBA, you've got to keep pace. It's a fast track out there. And I thought their lack of hustle defensively was the story of the game.
You can't allow any opponent to shoot that kind of percentage. If you do, it's just going to be so tough to keep up.
The feed to Millsap. And it's out of bounds. The Nuggets able to retain possession here. Morris is checked in for Denver. .124 left in the second quarter. And the shot goes down.
Oh, great ball movement there.
LA has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. That's good for George on the assist by Williams. George has got 7 now in this quarter. The Nuggets have gone 7 for 10 here in the second quarter. They'd like to keep up that nice pace. Here's Jokic, and Jokic slams it in.
Jokic, is he? I think he's showing some emotion, Kevin.
Los Angeles has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And that one drops. There's 49 seconds left in the first half of the game. Morris outside. Stolen by George. And oh, here we go with Leonard. Nobody back. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Guy's got some of the best hands in the league. Paul George instincts right there. Pokes that ball away.
The Nuggets trail. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's foul number 2 for him.
This is one where the second foul is probably going to cost you some minutes in this game.
The Nuggets making a switch here. Dozier's checked in. Morris looking over the floor. Excellent D there from Williams.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The strength in that body that Kawhi has, he finishes through contact as well as anyone in the league.
To the paint. Here's Jokic, and that one released in time, but no good. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Thanks, David, and we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, the story early on was Kawhi Leonard, who was on fire. He ended up with 17 points. And that should do it.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, and through the first 2 quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Yeah, he's shouldering the load right now and looking really comfortable while he's doing it.
Williams is out there with Paul George. Then it's Ibaka. Then there's Batum. And it's Leonard in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Here's Barton. The teardrop falls in. Barton's got 6. Today, Greg, we see a lot more friendly rivalry. Does that bother you?
Not at all. I mean, people like to say, well, our era had the rivalries were more bitter. I disagree with that. I think guys are every bit as competitive today as they've ever been.
That's good to hear.
They just also have more exposure and opportunity to be around one another. Kids today growing up, they've been playing against each other since the 5th, 6th grade in national tournaments. When we played, we didn't get to see the other top players around the country. So I think that was one reason why you didn't have a closeness with guys that unless you were on the same team.
And that's where Murray's speed shines through. He gives the D no time to react off that pass.
Batum finds Williams. Here's Leonard. Good. Leonard's got 19 points.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
Clippers leading by 3.
The playmaking of Jokic, so incredible. Creating this inverted offense. Bones, for your money, does it matter what position your best playmaker occupies?
I don't think so. And Jokic might be the secret sauce to that, and proving that from the center position, much like Arvydas Sabonis and Vlade Divac before him, can impact and also frustrate opposing defenses because you can't stop the center from making these kind of plays. And for a big man, Jokic is more than just a good free throw shooter. He is fantastic.
And among NBA bigs, he is known for his ability to deliver at the free throw line.
George, no good.
For him, it's harder to miss that shot than it is to make that shot. I think he was anticipating a bit of a bump there. Okay, good game plan. Start the second half. 3 of 4 so far from the field.
Clippers have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Here's Batum, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Porter.
And Batum brings length and a versatile game to his spot on the wing, and his defense always a big asset for this team. He's the kind of player that everybody needs to have out there, kind of a glue guy.
At this point, you might as well go ahead and chalk up the points when he's at the free throw line. Pretty much automatic.
Jokic, it's hauled in by Los Angeles. Here's Leonard, and that one drops for him. Leonard's got 23.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Outside Porter. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Jokic trying to free himself up. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Porter. Leonard attacking, good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Williams has got 3 assists now in this one. Campazzo, he's covered by Leonard. Yes, that goes in.
Well, he's too good a finisher to blow that kind of chance, but that's going to be a wake-up call to the defense.
Williams kicks to Leonard. And the layup falls. Leonard's got 10 points in the quarter.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Denver calls timeout.
A 3-time Sixth Man of the Year last season. Lou Williams named his newborn son 6 in honor of his success in that role.
We talk a lot about the Mount Rushmore of the game's greatest players. Maybe we could start to chisel out the 6th men of the year in the NBA. Lou Williams would have to get some serious consideration for that monument.
Williams attacking. Outside for George. Fires from deep. Los Angeles with a fresh shot clock. Williams passes to George. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Second shot opportunity. Rebound by the Nuggets. Jokic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. For the Nuggets, Millsap comes in for Jokic. And it's Will Barton in for Harris. And it's Williams with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. A 2-point game. Here's Ibaka, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams. Ibaka's got 7.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Barton against Leonard. Barton drives in.
Let this be a reminder, when you're going up for a shot, it's always important to know where Kawhi Leonard may be lurking. A good chance to see Paul George burst that time.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Morris passes to Porter. Barton outside. Pass to Millsap.
Always impressive when a smaller player has a nose for the ball and rises up amongst the taller ones to grab rebounds.
traditionally, that's how you want to finish the break, right at the rim.
Yeah, anything other than a layup in that situation, probably disappointing. Had numbers, took advantage.
And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. The Clippers on top as they end the 3rd quarter on a 14-6 run. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily.
Raising a shot. No hesitation. We're back. Satanic.
4th quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. The Nuggets trail by 8. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this 4th quarter. So out there for the Nuggets right now, Michael Porter's out there with Paul Millsap. Then it's Will Barton. Then there's Monte Morris. And it's Dozier in at the shooting guard.
Well, you know, Porter can expect this. Defenses are going to try to be physical with him, try to get in his head.
Leonard draws the double. George hacks a 2-pointer, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. George has got the lead up to 8 now for Los Angeles. Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
And he's in a complete groove right now. I don't think they can stop him altogether, but they at least need to make him work a little harder than he has been.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Mike Malone had some words for his team during the break. His emphasis was for more effort on the defensive end. He said, we have to do a better job of communicating and helping each other up. They're getting too many easy looks. Let's make it hard on them. Kevin, they're going to have to if they're going to slow down the hot shooting of their opponent.
That free throw good from George.
With Paul George, it's pretty awesome. You get the whole package. You get great scoring, you get good playmaking and rebounding, you get a defender with active hands. There's a lot of things about Paul George that can elevate everything you do to have great team success.
Here's Williams, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Lou Williams, so crafty, GA. Just a knack for putting the ball in the basket.
This guy just has the gift. I mean, it's been that way forever. He is just a born scorer. And a story about Jamal Murray. He was doing 2-a-days for Team Canada, and the coach wanted him to rest, so he confiscates his sneakers, came back and found him working out barefoot.
Well, they might want to check his web browser because I believe he did a search for lock picks because they put bars on the door to keep him out of the gym, and he still might try to find a way in.
There's the pass to Murray. Off target from 3-point range. Los Angeles leading by 10. Leonard attacking. It's good.
They are just killing him on the interior. And in a player empowerment era, no greater power move than Kawhi Leonard's last year. Fresh off a Finals MVP with the Raptors, he signed with his hometown Clippers and compelled a trade for Paul George.
Think about that 14-month run where Kawhi Leonard made his way to Toronto, a team that was on the cusp for many seasons, goes there, wins the MVP and the championship for the Raptors, and then ends up in his hometown of Los Angeles to try to do the same for the Clippers. Now that's getting it done and writing your own story.
Good ball movement here by the Nuggets, and it's good for 2. Jokic has got 4 points now in the quarter.
He's been terrific tonight, and with a little help from the other guys on the floor, they might be able to turn this game around.
Here's Batum. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Murray. It's hauled in by George. George has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Leonard. He can't get it to go. And it's Denver the other way. In the corner, Murray with it. Count that one.
Well, Barton had a good feel about what was happening defensively, and his teammate was wide open.
If they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Yeah, that's the best option.
Here's Ibaka. Drops it in off the fadeaway. Buck has got the lead up to 13 now for Los Angeles.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Yeah, he's the guy that you want to go to right now, trying to put this one away.
Down goes basket number 6 for him this game. He's taken 12 shots and made half of them.
And Jamal Murray showing that he's capable moving without the ball to find some points.
Here's George. On his 15th shot attempt, he makes his 9th basket. Shooting a healthy 60% tonight.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
And Murray's got the ball here for the Denver Nuggets. Jokic passes to Harris. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one on George.
Got to be aggressive in this league when you're close to the basket. This time it was Gary Harris, full throttle.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Frankie, we hear this a lot. It's almost too popular now to say good offense beats good defense. Being a defensive-minded player yourself, do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, Kevin. And the thing is, in today's game, when I played, there was an era, you could hold teams in the 80s and 90s. You could go a quarter and keep them at 12, 15 points. You can't do that now. It's different. You've got to be able to win stretches of 2 and 3 minutes. And honestly, you're right. The offense does dictate far more, but it doesn't discount the importance of defense. And if you still look at the reigning champs and the teams that have won titles recently, that's still one area that they're consistent in is their defensive approach.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Clippers.
They really had it going, guys. Their offense propelled them.
In this case, it was the higher shooting percentage that made the difference and earned them the W.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief 2-game.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Leonard.
It was tough to cover all game long. One of those nights when he felt like nobody could stop him, and they didn't.
Batum, good.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
Awesome to see their output tonight, trying to urge their team on, and that can always help. That home advantage of home fans getting you going, fully on display here.
George with the ball. So the Clippers winning this one easily. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you.